back. It's still the Good Morning Cross River, the Tuesday edition. On the 26th of February, INEC conducted by-elections in 4 states. And Cross River was won with Ogoja Yala Federal Constituency up north and Akpabio State Constituency down here in south. And the elections, some would say, have come and gone. But, you know, politicians, would they allow it to really rest? However it is, we will have joining us on set this morning the Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress here in the state, Erasmus Ekpan. Good morning, Erasmus. So good to have you join us.
Good morning.
Let me start by quoting your party on the victory you had on Saturday, talking of the Ogoja Yala constituency. How do you feel about the victory that your party had on Saturday?
First and foremost, I want to honestly thank His Excellency Senator Professor Ben Ayade, who saw this vision and then the wisdom for us to actually socket to the center, move to the party in the center. It wasn't easy, you know. PDP has been a predominantly party for the state, so it wasn't easy for us in about 7 months to change the mindset of the people in Cross River State and then get the victory in Ogoja Yala Federal Constituency. My chairman, our state party chairman, Barrister Alfonso Sagba, had done so much. He's been so proactive. You know, we started with a 10-day evangelism, trying to change the mindsets, the narrative of people, trying to sell the party to make them understand it's about us now, it's about the youth, it's about development, it's about what the governor wants for the states, you understand? So we did a lot of that. We stayed up north for more than 10 days, did flyers and all that. It wasn't easy. So it's for us to win this Ogoja Yala Federal Constituency. Honestly, I think we did very well because it's not easy to just come into a new party and win 21 votes and, you know, 2 local governments. So I want to commend the leadership of His Excellency Professor Ben Ayade and the chairman, APC, for driving this force.
Definitely. We'd love you to give us a summary of these elections that we had on Saturday. Just give us a nutshell how it went from beginning to the end of it.
Yeah, well, the elections started up well. A lot of agitations, rumors. Some had called beavers would be hijacked. Some have called the governor of Rivers State had given so much money for them to win election by force. They've said a lot of stories and all that. We were a bit skeptical. Everybody was careful. I think the both parties were a bit careful, accusing each other's, you know. The other party came up well prepared too, you know, like rumors were that the former governor of the state, His Excellency Lee Elimoke, was there. The senator for Central, Sandiono, was there. I mean, it was to some extent, for some people, maybe do or die or something. I mean, for us too, we really wanted to win because for us it was like a litmus test, you know. A lot of social media talks, Facebook talks, we are just there, nothing, the PDP are on ground, you know. So we really needed to prove to ourselves who is who in the field and all that. And so far so good. The other party, they tried, they did very well, but at the end of the day, we came out victorious. So it was, we expected a lot. Anticipated for violence, anticipated for a lot of things, but we thank God no souls was lost, though there were pockets of violence here. There were some riggings here, there, and all that. Like, obviously, they will accuse my party, like I will also accuse their party. You know. We've seen several videos and pictures that the interpretation to the public is totally different from the actual. You understand? We're yet to explain that to the public and make them understand why these videos were out, both on their own side. I think they will have a chance too to explain why we have their own videos that went violence too. Okay. But so far so good. It was okay. It was nice.
Okay, we'll actually get to that video, but let's look at the balance here. Do you think there is actually a balance now in Cross River State? Going back to 1999, where we had it was not complete PDP. Yeah, we had the APP, you know, occupying some seats at the State House. Now, let's look at what happened, what played out on Saturday. APC got the federal, PDP got the state. Do you think you've been able to do so much in 7 months, you know, to get the heart of people that have been for over 21 years socketed to the PDP?
To the APC, yeah.
To the PDP, what is well? Okay, maybe
Okay.
I'm using your words, who have been so fixed to the PDP for 20 something years. And you had 7 months to do that, but we see a balance now.
Yeah, I think to some extent, yeah, there's a balance, but we, the APC, will have a lot of work to do. We still have to go back to the drawing board and assure that we don't leave any stone unturned come 2023 general elections. We have sent a message for Goja and Iyala that we're really on ground now, and we are here to take over the state totally, like we have always done. So I know it's not going to be easy for us, but we have to be very strategic. We have to sit down and re-strategize and, check our SWOT analysis, see where our, strength, weakness, everything. We'll work on that. I believe, truly, and with the candidates we have put so far, like the Chief Judo Kachi, yeah, he doesn't have much time in the National Assembly, but I believe he'll be able to convince a lot of minds, mostly the areas he lost. He will be able to make them understand as a young man that, has always been there and can assist. So we pray that our candidate would be able to prove himself in the few months to come, so that a lot of minds will be, So right now, at least, I think we will be able to get 2023. I'm so positive about that. So we have a lot of work to do.
Okay. Now let me take you back now to the video you raised, and it's been on the social media space for a couple of hours now, picking one of your party agents up north there, that a video was shown that he was carrying a ballot box, and that has brought out a lot of talks in the social media space. But you are the spokesperson of your party in the state here. What is the true position of that which the PDP is holding so strongly?
The truth about it is that if you understand this BVAS technology, once your eyes or fingerprints have been captured, if you like, take all the ballot boxes, run into the bush, you're wasting your time. It goes straight. It just goes straight. So what happened there was this. I was actually in a situation trying to get across to all our party stalwarts and leaders in Bube, somewhere in Bube East. I think that's where that happened. The boys, let me not use talk, let me not say, because the boys from the opposition party PDP were so on ground in Bube, you understand? And to some extent, they blocked the way out, you understand, that takes Mbube straight to Goja. I want to tell you categorically that someone like an APC stalwart, member of our BOT, like Chief Wabili, was ambushed, and he now got to Goja through Buki, Okonde Buki. And then they had this campfire night, the PDP boys and all that. If you check, they swept almost all that area. They were so in charge there, that's the truth. So the thing is that at that point, they had finished election, they had finished voting, everything has been transmitted. So when the INEC officials heard they had blocked the road and there was violence, they had to call the security to come and evacuate them. If you look at that video very well, does it look like they were relaxed walking to the road? They were running for safety. Even the battered boy they accused of trying to rig, you understand? He was just holding one state box and they were running. They were running. The police, the Mopol came down, secured the area for them to be able to clear the roadblock, for the people to move the material, because the PDP intention was that there's always this possibility with politicians that if I don't win my polling unit, I destroy it. So instead of those materials to be destroyed, at least for evidence, in as much as the BVS has sent signals, is for them to chart those materials away to the collation center so that they are safe. So that's why the security came in to assist. So people are, we're all learned. If we all know what the functions of this BFAS, once you can't even vote here, and like the other days, you can vote here the other times, you can vote here and still go to another ward and vote or do double thumbprint. But now once you're captured, nothing works and it transmits immediately. So if you like, take silent ballot boxes, run into the bush. INEC has done so well to erase that line of thuggery, or rigging. So, the video was just, they were running for safety. They called security. It was even the INEC. The man there was an agent, an APC agent. So he had to help. If you're running out here to bring out these materials, assuming there's a fire outbreak here, of course I'll help you hold the camera. I'll help you hold one of your things to run out so that something is not destroyed. That's what the boy was doing. But they capitalized on that video and it's so laughable. And I don't know, You know, sometimes some people are very bad losers. I think so. Maybe I am too, I wouldn't know. But we should just learn to understand that for a better Cross River, you must not win. You know, the elections now, we have seen it. Even we, the ruling party now, as in the one that with the government, have seen that it's not about money. It's not about the government. You must be on ground where you're from. It's so easy now. You just, even if you have just 15 votes, I think they are fine. Because we still had some, in some areas, some areas where we had this voters apathy for fear of being attacked or whatever. So we must not kill ourselves. We are all brothers from the same state. We must not use some very strong words against ourselves. Tomorrow we may be together, next tomorrow we may not be together. So I don't see no reason why people will use such video to see how they will gain, you know, to say, okay, this was not. When even one there, even one in that word, you understand? So I don't know why they read and they won. I mean, APC read and PDP won. So it's crazy.
They say elections have come and gone. But we know now in Nigeria, we hardly see that. Elections will come and another factor will pop up, and that is usually the court angle. Let's look at this. When Jonathan saw he was losing, he accepted defeat and didn't go to court. But I saw a report this morning that the PDP, Mike Usibe, and two other political parties are heading to the courts, that they've rejected the outcome of Saturday's result. What would be your take on this? Must the court always solve our problems?
If I may say something, I want to honestly go back to commend former President Goodluck Jonathan. You see, the president today ran elections for the seat of the president about 3 times before he eventually won. It is not a do-or-die affair. We must learn to always accept defeat. Mostly like when the elections are free and fair to some extent, and then where some of our party faithfuls tried their best to defend their votes, even sustained some injury, and 1 or 2 houses were almost raised down and all that. Where, well, in as much as we'd always take the court's decision, I respect the court, but my observation has been that the court has just been the real party. And whether you're in PDP or APC, at the end of the day, the court can unturn things, depending on what the evidence they have on ground and what they see. So I think a lot of people relies on that. Some persons will just come out to try, even when in their heart, they know they can't even win their polling unit or their ward, just to see that the court favors them, and then they get victory. Even in the case of our northern senatorial elections, you saw that there was victory for the PDP then, and Stephen Odi. But eventually, he stayed in the Senate as a senator for 6 months, but the court turned it. So I think there's so much hope for every candidate that thinks he wants to try in court. But the truth about it is that having stayed, I was in Ogoja for 12 days. I went around, for information's sake, I went around all the wards, the 21 wards of Ogoja Yala, monitor the campaigns and all that. Out of no violence, nothing. We suffered. We did that campaign, went down to sense through the campaign very well, and eventually the result came out. Anybody that wants to go to court can still just try to go to court, because it's always an avenue for, that back door. The court can always, the court, you see the signs, they are blind, so it's what they get. But for this one, with the God itself, I think victory is ours. Victory is ours.
Definitely. Okay, let's look at Chief Jude Gaji's House of Reps member-elect has about 15 months. Let's look at that duration. Can he really achieve a lot within 15 months of his stay in House of Reps?
Well, the truth about it, that is where I pray for some, slack. They give him some slack, because the truth about it is that if you follow Jude Ngaji very well, his dad was a senator then, a very wonderful man. Jude Ngaji, we were a childhood friend at Marinol College. He's been a very kind person. I mean, his stories goes in volumes. During our campaigns, we have met people that have cried to him. And like when we were in government, you gave us this amount of money because one of my sisters had cancer, and he has forgotten. He bought a lot of cars for people, he made a lot of people. Jude has served this state. At some time, we were having our sleep as state security advisor. Jude was awake, chasing all these hoodlums and all that. He has done very well. Jude has a kind heart. And just like all the young representatives in the North work very hard, if you understand what I'm saying, Honorable Lego, Right Honorable Lego Idagbo is doing very well, touching the lives of his people, both in empowerment and all that. Jude, they'll follow suit. Jude will do so well. But the thing is that we have to cut him subsidy just 15 months. One, we know they are taking us to court, so we'll have some 1 or 2, 3 months break. But then Jude will start. As he gets in, let's give him 5 months. You'll see some result. If you follow Jude's antecedents in Cross River State as Chief of Staff and State Security Advisor, you definitely know Jude will do very well.
Definitely. Okay, remember there was this presentation we posted out there since last week during when we opened our live studios, and at least you've been our guest via the telephone several times. We said that this election is going to be a litmus test for what we will be seeing in 2023.
Yeah.
Now, moving forward, 2023, do you see APC taking every part of the senatorial, House of Reps, State House, and indeed the governorship?
Well, if I want to, with my own analysis, if I want to do my analysis, they're not in senatorial district, be that Jude is there now. We have Jude and Honorable Lego Idagbo holding that knot. The governor is from there. So that's almost sealed. Coming back to the central, we're aware of their antics of trying to bring in senator representing us, Senator Professor Sandiono, to run for governorship. And then we have Chris Agibe that has been very, I wouldn't know how to describe it. I mean, we only see him during campaigns and elections. You understand? So I don't know his strategy. I think because we are now having a new party, they may claim they want to rerun back. If he comes back, I fear if he will make it again to just go and stay quiet for another 4 years. And then coming back to the South, the governor has produced very young, vibrant men, very, very young people that are very intelligent and have done well. You know, it was almost like it wouldn't have been possible, because by the time the governor started mentioning his appointment, somewhere in their 30s, but they've done well. You understand? So most of them may come out to vie for some of these positions. So we have Right Honorable Estena, who have been like 5 times in the reps, and he still wants to go back. So it's going to be a tough one. It's not like because we have done this test in Ogoja. We thought otherwise, but we saw that it was really tough. So we really have to go back as a party to our drawing board and strategize and put most of this tactical analysis down and then work with. I think we'll have almost 90%, if not more. Yeah, because even when we're in the PDP, Honorable Alex Ebuna won in the APC, so we have to give them room too. But I think victory is ours, 90-something%.
Okay, before I let you go, Popsec, let's get to know your thoughts on the Back to South by His Excellency the Governor. He has come out strongly to say power is going back to the southern part of Cross River State. What's your take on that as the Popsec?
Yeah, the truth about it is that the governor, Senator Professor Ben Ayade, is the leader of my party in the state and in South South. I am the state publicity secretary. Of course, you won't expect that I go against what the governor does. Now, if you come to me personally, I think the governor was very right in saying that power must go to the south. One, to avoid rancor, violence and all that. We don't have much money. Like other states, we're about the 35th out of 36 states. If this power is moved to the south, it means that we would focus our attention in the south and then avoid spending much for central or north. You understand? And besides that, for equity's sake, I mean, for crying out loud, His Excellency Donald Duke started with it. It moved to the central, Senator Lee Elimuki, and then north. Even in the campaigns, there were these promises that south after north is your turn. So why do we have to change it? But that is not saying that the party says nobody can come out and run. Everybody can come out and run. But the governor stand, and my position is it should be moved to the south. Let them feel the south have been our host. Let them feel that governance again after so many years that it has gone there. Let it come back here. We start like that again. We don't have so much to expect violence You know, because the mere fact that some people in the north may want to run even from Budo, the government, may spark up some violence there. Let's concentrate all that strength here in the south. So I totally agree with the party position. But like I said, honestly, we don't have any right to stop any individual from running an election. So those that feel that they are strong enough to come out can actually still try themselves.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's get your post-election advice to your party faithfuls and indeed Cross River.
Well, my advice is that we should continue in what we're doing. We should learn to accept defeats, anyhow it takes, to allow the state move forward. Because where we drag ourselves backward with court issues, even the representative of us in the various house would be a bit distracted. We should put our heads together. Cross River State is one. We should learn to be at peace with ourselves. We should learn not to be too fast to abuse and use some very strong abusive words for a brother just because of party affiliations. You know, during the military era, there were no parties. Those days when I was small, ahead of MPN, MPP, and all, they're all gone. So one day, PDP, APC will go. So I don't say that's what I learned from my governor. You know, that kind of, you don't need to fight, you want to kill because you want to shed someone's blood because you want to be there. You understand? So I want to advise all of us to remain calm and be peaceful and be careful with our utterances and ensure that tomorrow we may all work together again to make Cross River State a better state. Thank you.
Erasmus Ekpan, Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, APC, here in the state. It's been a great time talking with you, and we hope to still bring you back moving forward, at least on some political issues around the state.
I'll be so available.
All right.
Thanks so much. Thanks.
Listen to Good Morning Cross River, and you heard it there from the Publicity Secretary of the APC, Erasmus Ekpan. Remember that we have one Cross River. There is no other Cross River than this, and make sure you love your brother, and let's do the right thing. Stay with us, we're not done yet.